The Board of Public Works to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Joelle, would you start us off?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Lynch,
Here.
Member Collins,
Here.
Member Lewis,
Here.
Member Young Johnson,
Here.
Member Williams.
Here.
We have the approval of the minutes. I don't see any.
Nope, I realize they were not in Dropbox. Could you please table them?
Okay. I need a motion to table the minutes.
I'll make a motion to table the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
We have motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unfinished business, we have the 2023 pet shop license renewals. Did everybody get notified? Do we have anyone here from the pet shops?
Madam Mayor, I just want to ask a question. At our last meeting, we asked the clerk's office to send out notification that we were requesting their presence here at this meeting. I think this is the second time it's been tabled, that they be notified by certified mail. And just to create a paper trail, just want to ask the clerk's office, did that take place?
Supposed to take place, and I also have communicated with at least one of them personally via email.
So I think, just for the record, I haven't heard from two of them, but I got a call from Attorney Elwood over the weekend and then yesterday. He represents furry babies. He indicated they're saying they didn't get notice, but they did get a phone call on Friday. That's what they're saying. But he can't be here today. He said he didn't have enough notice to move his court calendar. So he's asking that we set it for the next Board of Works meeting and send him notice, which we can do if the board is so inclined to do that.
So,
That's the only one I heard from was furry babies.
so I sent you guys an email yesterday. Did you guys receive that?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't believe that since this ordinance was enacted in 2016, that the clerk treasurer's office has honestly processed this properly. It appears that annually, after the initial approval from the Board of Works for any existing pet shop or a new pet shop, it appears that the $100 was just sent into the office, it was receipted in, and a permit was issued.
So I think maybe we have a couple of things going on here. I think that from the city council's perspective and my attendance at the ordinance committee meetings, the council was looking at amending the code with respect to pet shops. It does allow for inspections and, of course, as the clerks noted, the annual permitting. But I think that from the council's perspective, they were looking for a little bit of feedback from the pet shop owners. And so in conjunction with that, I think that the Board of Works is looking for some feedback from the pet shop owners, which is why we really need them here. I do think it's, if we're looking at contemplating the permit or looking at amending the ordinance, we probably do need a record of notice of these meetings because this board's compelled them to come and they haven't come. So we need to have that for the record. And again, I've only heard from the furry baby's attorney, and I confirmed with him today. I called and said, are you sure your folks aren't coming? And he said, no, they're not coming without their attorney. And he didn't mean that acrimoniously. He just wants to be here when we ask them questions. So I think we do. If we're doing all this to reach the end that I just spoke of, A, permitting, and B, assisting the council in the amending of that code, we do need to have them present.
And I concur, Attorney Whitten. Just for a bit of information, I learned this morning that the state is considering House Bill 1121, which is being authored by Michael Aylesworth, that could affect local control over pet shops. So the state is looking at adopting legislation that is going to centralize that authority with the state and remove local authority in regard to pet shops. So we'll keep eyes on that legislation and see how, what impact and effect that's going to have on our existing pet shops and those that sell particularly cats and dogs. So the ordinance committee will take that pending legislation into consideration as we move forward. But I agree, Attorney Whitten, we need to have these people here. If they have attorneys and representing them, we need to treat all three applicants equally as we move forward and make decisions in regarding these pet shops. Thank you.
So Nina, I have a question for you. Did they all sign the green card, the thing
Check
that you
with
mailed
Diane.
them?
I'll check with Diane.
Yeah, we want to see those. We want to see those, because we did, that way then they can't say they weren't notified.
Yeah, and I think maybe just having them, Nina, incorporated into the minutes, I think that'd probably be a good thing. I just really feel like we need to make a record here, because it seems like after a couple of misses, we probably want to set.
I mean, I even spoke with Pet Supply Plus personally, and he was trying to figure out what the meeting, I mean, exactly what the meeting was for and which staff member would better present
So-
this company.
Nina, in the email, you stated that you received confirmation that all three pet shops will have a representative at the meeting.
I
So
did.
was that verbal?
I did verbally through Diane. I confirmed with her several times to make sure she was the one communicating with them for me in my office. With the exception of Pet Supply Plus, I actually spoke with him myself.
So particularly with, maybe with the fur babies, if you wouldn't mind, Nina, when you send them notice for the next Board of Works, could you send it to me so I can send it to Elwood? Or you could send it to Elwood, but I promised him I'd give him notice.
You want me to send him a letter?
So then with the next, when the minutes are done from this meeting, Nina, would you attach those signed things onto it so that we can, that way if people question us, we can say we sent that to them? Thank you.
So my suggestion or request at this time would be that we table all three to the next Board of Works meeting, and then we can address them. I think it is a good idea to address all three together.
I make a motion that we table the 2023 pet shop license renewals, the next meeting.
I second.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have new business special event request, NWI triathletes.
Here or here?
You can go either place. They have mics at each one.
Hi, I'm Ashley Konworski, the president of the Northwest Indiana Triathletes Group. We're a club here to Northwest Indiana, serving Lake, Porter, and Cook counties, so all of the region. We were approached to put on a 5K running event for charity, for a charity called Project Purple. It's local to this area because one of your previous residents, his name is Tommy Olivares, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer last fall, and he is in dire need of support financially. So we partnered with this charity, Project Purple, which donates and helps support families going through pancreatic cancer surgeries. And so we were approached to put on this 5K, and we agreed to do it. One of our members donated a sum of money for us to cover the cost of the race up to a point, and then 100% of the proceeds, all the event registration fees and donations will go towards 50-50 towards Project Purple, and the other 50% will go directly to Tommy and his family, and with the opportunity for people to donate extra money. So our club is just running the event, and anybody that decides to run it, participate, walk, even all that money is going to go to charity.
Are you staying all on the trail?
Yes, we're not closing down any roads. We won't even need any police. So we're starting at the Imagination Glen Park, going through the parking lot by the playground to the Iron Horse Heritage Trail, and then we're turning east on the Prairie Path up to, I think the road is 149, and then just U-turn and go back towards the park. So not even any major intersections will be crossed.
Okay, so we're all good with that, Chief, right? Since they're not crossing any, okay.
We will have several volunteers out, making sure that people are part of the race. There aren't any people that are, I can't imagine that there would be any issues with people cheating. It's going to be a timed event, so people will have like bibs and things too, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Northwest Indiana Triathletes 5K run for the Project Purple.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good
Thank
luck,
you.
Ashley. I hope you have good weather and a great turnout. This is a wonderful fundraiser.
Thank you. And if you know anybody that's suffering from pancreatic cancer, please send them to the website to sign up. Even if you don't want to do the event, you can donate to the cause.
So do you have a website that you can share that we can share other people? I lost a nephew to pancreatic cancer, so I do know what a horrible thing it is.
Yes, the event is called Project Purple Pounding Pavement for Pancreatic Cancer. If you Google it, the event registration site will come up. It's also on our triathletes page on Facebook. So if you look up our organization name, we have it as an event, a public event, so people can register right through the Facebook page.
Wonderful. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
We have the Park Department Bounce Into Summer event.
Hello. Good morning, y'all. Yes, so first time another county did this, and I thought it was a great idea. So I'm going to have a company. They're called Cooper's Rentals. They're fully insured. They will come down to Founders and set up about 10 different bounce things, either bounce houses or obstacle courses or things like that. They come, they set up all of their equipment, they run it, they man it. We don't do anything for that part. They are giving us a bounce back, a percentage bounce back from the money that they earn for it. And then I want to have food trucks and vendors and live music the rest of the day. So it'll be the kickoff to summer.
I just have a question, Amy. When kids are on these bounce houses, I mean, I've seen on the internet where it's, kids have gotten hurt on them. Is there a liability clause? I think our attorney would probably.
The company themselves, actually, they have given me copies of their insurance, so they are 100% covered. I can definitely send it over.
Thanks, Amy. I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay, sure. I can send it over. Each actual house or obstacle course will be manned by their employee. And of course, it's their policy, which I'll be putting on there saying that, parents have to stay. So it's like you can't go over here and just, okay, kid, go ahead. So the children have to be with their parents at all times. And so then their staff actually mans and runs this event. Well, the bounce houses.
That's awesome. It sounds like fun.
I know.
Maybe I'll do it. Is there an age limit?
No, I don't believe so, but if you want to come.
Thank you, Jamie.
Well, I hope you all come, but bouncing, that might be another thing, so.
So we will need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Bounce Into Summer contingent upon Dan reviewing the liability insurance.
I second.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further questions? We're all good, Dan?
We're good.
Okay. We don't need to say pending approval by Dan on the contract. We're okay? Okay. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That's a great idea. We hope you had good weather and no wind.
Yes.
Okay, we have mainly marathons here.
Well, they're not here, so
Okay.
they're actually from Minnesota. So it's a race. It's actually a multi-state, multi-day race on July 10th. And they're actually doing the same route, similar to the Purple Project. So it's the same thing, Imagination Glen to 149. I guess they've been doing it for 7 years, so Lori and Jenny used to come do this since they're in Minnesota. So we have an agreement with them, and we have their insurance too. So. I haven't seen the event. This will be my first year seeing it, so I wish I could tell you more about it, but from the website, it seems really interesting. They go from different states, and then this is just their stop in Indiana. Kind of cool. It doesn't seem like it's going to conflict with too much that day. They start setting up the night before, then the racers might start arriving at 3:30 a.m. So I don't know if I just need to send it to the police so they know that there is going to be some night activity at Imagination Glen, and the race starts at 5 a.m. and they should be all cleaned up by 4 p.m.
I make a motion to approve the Mainly Marathons on July 10th, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? Chief, I have a question for you. So will you let your guys know that there's going to be activity in the park? Because I'm sure neighbors nearby and that might be, calling to say, just let them know that we're aware of that.
Yep, we got the info on here and we'll send it out.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. I'll let them know.
Good luck to them. Okay, we have a solicitor's permit. We have Gridiron Grill. Is someone here from Gridiron Grill?
They had asked last meeting to be moved to this meeting.
Well, if no one is here from Gridiron Grill, I'll ask for a motion to table again.
I'll make a motion that we table a solicitor's permit for Gridiron Grill.
I second.
We have motion and a second to table. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have Northwest Indiana Lawn Care. Is a representative here?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Cameron with Northwest Indiana Lawn Care, just here to get and obtain solicitor's permits for my team.
What hours do you expect to be soliciting?
Around 9 to 5.
How many
they-
on your team?
We have 8.
8.
Chief, has your office received information regarding the people that will be doing this solicitation?
Yeah, we only have one issue. There was one individual where the background check, the date of birth on that was not the same as on the license. It was off by a year.
Okay.
So I get you that information. Maybe you must resubmit for that one person.
That one person?
Yeah, everybody else checked out fine with us.
Would we need to come back here for that individual?
I mean, you can make, if the board's inclined, they could make their approval contingent upon the completion of the background check.
Are we able to approve the rest of the team?
Yes, I think that the chief indicated that everybody else was cleared, correct?
I'll make a motion that we approve the solicitor's permit for Northwest Indiana Lawn Care, contingent upon the final background check being approved by the police department.
I'll second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So Nina, I see in my packet Portage Food Pantry again. Did that just get put in there accidentally, or were they scheduled to come for their September 9th Tag Day? Was Joe supposed to be here?
I don't think he should be here yet because it's not till September.
Okay. Was that in your packet, guys, or was it just? Okay. So then,
Sometimes they submit them all in January,
Okay.
and so it's just a FYI.
And it looks like on their application, maybe they even put the Board of Works meeting for February 14th.
Yeah.
Find out.
We
They like
don't need to
It's
table
just a
that then.
placeholder, you know, it's
Okay.
not actually on the agenda.
Okay. Okay. We have the grant agreement with IDEM.
Good evening, or good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
It's like, yeah, I've been a little under the weather here. So before you, it's a community recycling grant that we have applied for, up to $72,130. The funds are available. Part of that is on page 11. It would break down to the purchasing of recycling bins, up to $67,270, and also some recycling printed mailers for educating the public in our recycling program. And that consists of a breakdown of $2,303, and then the actual cost to post or for the mailers would be up to $2,557, which brings the total grant that's available upon your approval of it for $72,130. Any questions on this?
So you have a cash match?
Yes, we do have a cash match of 25% that the city would be responsible for.
And do you have those funds in your budget for that, to cover that?
We will be talking about that in the next week or two,
Okay.
available on those funds of being available, so.
Okay.
I'm not sure I totally understood the answer. So are you saying you do have funds available, or you're going to require
No, we're
council
gonna
action to move
require-
money?
We're going to require the board to approve this grant upon the availability of funds. So did I say that right?
Right enough. So I would suggest that if the board is contemplating approving this grant, which sounds like a pretty good deal, that it does so with a contingency of finding available funds for matching.
So it sounds like you're going to have a visit to Nina, and she's going to tell you, right?
Yes.
Since she's
We
the
do
fun
have
lady.
we do have some expenses within the budget to cover toters. So I believe this amount is covered. But to take advantage of this, we're talking, you know, a toter that costs $80, and it's only going to cost the city $20 on each toter. It's a win to have $60 available funds from the IDM.
So let me ask you a question about the toters. I mean, what is the damage ratio of those? Because like the whole bottom of my toter is falling apart. And, you know, I just think it's old and it's plastic and it's cracked.
That's why we're seeking new.
Yeah.
No,
So
this-
how many of those do you lose every year due to damage or?
They wear out. They have about a 10-year lifespan, and then we're going to have to need to replace them. So depends on how many people drag it across their driveway or actually use the wheels. But they do have a 10-year lifespan, and they are pretty durable. But we do need to replace. We have approximately 24 to 25,000 toters within our system throughout the city for black and green lid.
I make a motion to approve the grant for $72,130, which also requires a $24,045 match from the city. I make this motion contingent upon the match funds being identified by the street department for this grant to take place.
A second.
We have motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have permission to scrap vehicles in accordance with the Volkswagen grant.
And I'll bring you up to speed on this. This is a grant that we had got approved for last year. The city is a little over $500,000. And part of that grant program is once we start receiving the compressed natural gas, the CNG vehicles for the sanitation department, that we would have to, as a vehicle's received, we would take one of our old vehicles, diesel, and we drill a hole in the engine, cut the main frames, and scrap that vehicle. So that's part of the conditioning, and some of these vehicles they need to be scrapped years ago. But It's great seeing those green CNG trucks out running our neighborhoods, and we got more on the way, but I'm asking the board to scrap 4 of these vehicles. We've already received three of them through the grant program, and once we have proved that we've scrapped this, we've proved payment and everything, we will be getting 25% back of whatever the cost of that vehicle was through the Volkswagen grant program. So in other words, if a vehicle cost $100,000, once we've proved payment and we've proved that we've scrapped that vehicle, we get $25,000 back. So it's a 25% return. So
Randy, could that be used to pay the cash portion that we owe for the previous grant?
Yes, it could be. Well, that's completely up to the clerk treasurer, how we use those funds as we receive them, but we could apply them to other upcoming vehicles as well, so. But
So Randy, is there a cost to scrap these vehicles?
No, there is no cost,
Okay.
no cost at all. So the 4 vehicles that we're planning on scrapping is, according to our records, our vehicle are numbered 402, 420, 421, and 422. And I'm just going to give the last 4 digits of the VIN number. So for 402, it's going to be 8151. 420, it's going to be 5497. 421, it's going to be 5498. And then 422, 5499. Those are the 4 vehicles we plan on scrapping. Any questions?
Is there any part of that at all that you get to keep, like tires or anything like that?
Yes, we have gone through the vehicles and taken anything valuable off those. Sometimes we could salvage some of the cylinders, the tires, radios, other electrical components that we use on other trucks, yes.
It's just the engine part they don't want us reusing because it's an air pollution issue, right?
Yes, that is correct, Mayor. Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we allow Randy to scrap the vehicles he's asked for in accordance with the Volkswagen grant.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's a great program. Blue and Company contract renewal with the fire department.
Good morning. This is our annual contract that we have with the Blue and Company every year. What they do is they go through all of our reimbursement for Medicaid, and Medicaid has different levels. They give you an initial payment, and then you have to prove population and needs and all this stuff, and they go through all of our records, and then they file that with the state. And the last reimbursement that we were waiting for 2021, they were able to recoup $212,000 for us. So this will be for 2022, and it's the same amount. It's $5,000 that they've charged every year, so nothing's going up, nothing's changed.
Dan, is that a contract? Have you seen that?
I have, Madam Mayor, and Chief Wilkening has recited it correctly. It's the same contract. Didn't see any changes, and I would recommend approval.
I make a motion to approve the annual contract with the Blue Company with the amount of $5,000.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So Nina, I see something else that came through in there. It's the police department vehicles. Did everybody get that?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, Chief, if you want to come up and discuss that with us?
Good morning. So we were here a couple weeks ago, months ago, it all runs together at this point, but talking about ordering cars. So we got that approved I think that they're supposed to be built sometime in the spring, maybe April or May, something like that. I think we're supposed to take delivery on that. However, with those, there's all the other stuff that goes into it. The upfitting is one part of that, and then the computers that go in the cars are the other parts. So although the cars won't be here until mid or end spring, we kind of wanted to lock in on these prices because, as you know, things go up every day. So hopefully you got the paperwork in front of you. So what we have is we have 3 different quotes for upfitting. And that would be all the lights, sirens, radars, all the things that go into the cars that actually have to be put in, because we just get essentially a car like everybody else. We got to put all that stuff in there. So the 3 companies that we received bids from, or quotes from, were Federal Signal, Bartronics, and Minor Electronics. Hopefully you've got it in front of you. You can see the dollar amounts for the totals. So Federal Signal was $86,500.94. Bartronics was $74,948.60. And then Minor Electronics was $107,499. So what we would like to do is get approval to essentially go with Bartronics. They're also a local business out of Chesterton. So not only with the lower price, but there's a lot of convenience for if repairs or things come up, it's right next door rather than having to go out of town. So that would be the first part of that.
Do we need to approve these separately?
It's up to you. Separately is probably great.
Yeah, it's two separate 3 quotes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we need to do them separately.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Bartronics quote for the 8 Durangos and 2 Rams in the amount of $74,948.60.
And I assume with that motion that you're making a finding that they're the lowest and most responsive. I'm sure you did.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, then the second one is for computers and the docking stations. So what we've been trying to do to stay ahead of the game is get new computers with the cars. There's obviously a lifespan on computers as far as technology goes, and then just the beating they take being in and out of the cars over the years. So we started doing this, I believe, actually I think we started doing it once we took over as an administration team, because we had found we were getting cars and then we didn't have computers, and it just, then we were trying to play catch up. So this would be for 10 computers and docking stations, which would then go into the 10 cars that we just spoke about. So again, same thing. We got 3 different quotes. One was through Dell Technologies for a total of $24,346.90. Another one was for CDW. Their total was $27,281.29. And then Midwest Public Safety came in at $27,634.70. So based on those numbers, the Dell Technologies is the best one. And I believe if you go through the paperwork, some of them were charging extra for warranties and such, and the Dell Technology ones covers all of that. There's no shipping, so they're by far the better deal out of the 3 of those.
So the Dell Technologies, they've included shipping and the warranty?
Yeah, there's no shipping charge. There's no separate warranty charge. I didn't bring all the individual papers, but if you go through them, so their total is even lower, but it's lower and it's got all the things. So yeah, it's got everything we need for the best price.
I think Dell has the state bid too.
I'll make a motion.
Are there contracts with these that Dan needs to review to make sure that they're,
Shouldn't be. They're just
Okay.
purchases, and then our IT department, in conjunction with the 911 center, sets up all the software that needs to be on them.
okay.
I can review any paperwork that they have, Madam Mayor. I
Okay.
don't have a problem doing that.
Sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we approve the computers and docking stations for the police vehicles to Dell Technologies in the amount of $24,346.90, because they're excellent computers and they're giving us the warranties and shipping for free.
So you therefore find them to be the lowest and most responsive.
I second that motion.
We have motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we have bulk item appeals for 5859 Newport Avenue.
Okay. This one was serviced back in, I believe, back in the late fall. There was some bags of, looked like trash, but they're actually leaves. So without further delay, I'm asking the board to, my recommendation is that we reverse this one for $25 service fee. I did speak with the residents, and they said that going forward, they'll make sure that they place those leaves within like paper bags, so it's not confused at the curb going forward.
I make a motion to reverse the $25 service fee at the address of 5859 Newport.
I'll second that motion.
So Randy, I'm seeing fee amount appealed $27.50. What is the?
The $2.50, Mayor, is a possibly late fee
Okay.
involved, so once we reverse the 25, the clerk's treasurer's office usually takes those late fees off as well.
Okay. We have motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
We do have one, if the board would like to entertain. The resident is here to explain her side of the story for Sherwin 5063 Sherwin Avenue. So we do have another bulk item appeal. So.
Hi, my name is Nancy Burkall, and I live at 5063 Sherwin Avenue. And in the very first couple days of November, we had a storm that took down a tree, damaged my shed, but also from the wind and things blowing around, my deck was wrecked. So my neighbor cut up the wood. He took the bigger parts of the tree away, but we put the branches down. But as you can see, the deck, I'm sure, I just saw the picture for the first time. The deck, had I known that it wasn't something that you could just put out, I would have figured something. However, when I had my neighbor there cutting up all the tree, I just let him go ahead and do the deck because it was loose enough that if we had another windstorm, I'd probably damage something else. Well, when I got my bill, I got my bill in December was the normal $65. I got my bill in January, which came out to $222.50, which was a bit of a shock. At first, on the bill, it said $85. Then I think I talked to Randy, and he said it was $150, but then it comes out to $157.50, which I wonder if I'm being charged a late fee as well. But I just felt like that was a bit exorbitant, and I really had no idea, and I've talked to other people, that we were not aware of the fact that they charge for something like this. And, I just took advantage of the fact that my neighbor was willing to do all this for me, and he's the one who took everything out. He did not know either. So I just, am kind of hoping that somehow we could either reduce it or something, because it just seemed like it was a lot.
What do you think would be a fair price?
Actually, zero, but,
What do you think would be a fair price above zero?
even, I suppose, half or $50, something like that. It just, like I say, I'm a senior citizen on a limited budget, obviously. And I honestly was not aware. I even went through all the paperwork, and I didn't see anything. I didn't pursue it any further because this was just recently. I don't see anything where it says anything about it, but Randy said it had to be like a 40-square-foot deck. Had I known, I don't know if it would have worked, but put one or two pieces out at a time. I don't know. I've never run into this. And as a matter of fact, he said that they picked up the decking November 15th, and why didn't it show up on my December bill? And then I also, if you see underneath, it's all the branches and stuff. And they assured me that that was a pickup that they don't charge for, but that was just picked up the very first week of January. And I understand they were behind. We had a lot of windstorms, damage and stuff this year. But, you know, I just was, when I opened my bill, it was like, I'm glad I was sitting down, my old age, you know.
So Randy, it sounds like Nancy's laying out some exigent circumstances or unexpected things that happen with storm damage. You don't have a problem with a reduction? do
No,
you?
I have no issues with the board if they decide to go half or $50, but an agreement to reduce it, I have no issues with that. So whatever the board wishes to reduce this to, I'm in favor of it, so.
I'll make a motion that we reduce the charge to $50.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further discussion? Nancy, did you have anything else to say?
No, that's fine, thank you.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So Randy, just to clarify, I mean, that was quite a pile of debris. So if a resident has what happened to them, like Nancy, what are they supposed to do if they can't find anybody to
Well-
take it away? Does amnesty, or I know it exceeds the amount?
Yes, so these policies have been in effect since 2013, and they're within our ordinance. We do have a copy of those policies online. They could go to the website, portagein.gov, and look into sanitation, and you can see the bulk item policy as well. But the rule is the 40 square feet on the ground. So it's a little bit bigger than a sheet of plywood. It's 10 feet by 4 feet. Once it goes beyond that, on Amnesty Day, it starts off at $100 and up. So outside of that, if they were going to put a bulk item, like someone ordered furniture halfway through the month and said, you know what, I'm not gonna wait until my Amnesty Day, I gotta put that out there. We ask them to contact the Portage Street Department. We'll set that up for a pickup. Sometimes they'll put furniture out there, and as long as it's within the 40 square feet, it starts off at $25. Once it goes past the 40 square feet on the ground, it's $100 and up. Did I explain that good?
So let me ask you another question.
Yes.
Because I know we're live streaming, and it does educate our audience. If that happens, can they, if they're a resident of the city and that was from their property, can they take it down to the street department in like a pickup truck?
Yes, they can take it down, and right now we're negotiating a ordinance with that. So, but they do bring bulk items to us, and we do charge the standard $25 service fee and $100, and we're looking at reduced rates right now through the ordinance committee.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We have claims.
I have a question about the bond payment on page 8. It says general bond number 2. The interest payment's $500,000, $530,000, and the principal payment's only $20,787.
It's just reversed appropriation, that's all.
Sorry?
I said it's just flip-flopped appropriation, the title of it. Okay.
So the interest payment's only $20,000? Correct. Okay.
I see Randy, Mr. Reader, we purchased more salt. Are we in good shape now with this last purchase as far as we anticipate for the winter season?
Yes, we try and keep our barn as full as possible, so that is on a state bid, but yeah, we did order salt. So.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the claims. I got it at $1,642,904.19.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We have major illness claims, Attorney Whitten.
Yes, we do, Madam Mayor. We have no COVID leave, but 2 major illness leaves that I've signed off on and would recommend the board approve.
I make a motion to approve the 2 MI claims that have been suggested to be paid by Attorney Whitten.
A second.
We have motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there any other business to come before this board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
We have motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.